The Grim Reaper really is a remorseless twat. In the last 2 years, legends like Verne Gagne, Mae Young, The Ultimate Warrior, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper all departed for the great locker room in the sky. All were commemorated with heroes, tributes, lovingly edited by WWE. But what about the wrestlers whose passing the company barely gave the slightest mention? And why would they be so cold? I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 wrestler deaths ignored by WWE. Number 10, Chris Kanyon. Chris Kanyon was a former US champion and tag team champion hired by WWE during the Invasion angle. A lot of people complaining about the Invasion angle these days. I loved it, wouldn't change a thing, winky face. In the years following, Kanyon found himself often either on the bench with an injury or jobbing and was released in 2004. Having suffered from bipolar disorder for many years, Kanyon was found dead in 2010 next to an empty bottle of depressants and an apology note. The WWE gave him nary a passing mention. Was this because he killed himself? Maybe because he once as part of a publicity stunt told people that WWE released him because he was gay, a statement he later retracted. Perhaps it was because he and Raven once attempted to sue the company for cheating wrestlers out of healthcare. Or perhaps, brutally, the WWE just thought no one would remember him or his run with the company. Do you? Number 9, Ludwig Borga. During his brief run in 1993 to 1994, Finnish superstar Ludwig Borga beat Marty Jannetty at SummerSlam, entered Tatanka's 2-year undefeated streak, feuded with Razor Ramon over the IC title, and competed in the main event of Survivor Series alongside Yokozuna against the likes of the Steiners and The Undertaker. After leaving the company, he also became the first Scandinavian to compete in UFC, won the Finnish Heavyweight Championship as a boxer, and was even elected to Finnish Parliament. Despite all this, in 2010, when Borga was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, the company didn't acknowledge his death. Independently, JR wrote of Borga's problems with drugs and alcohol and said that he had not been a great guy to be around. Number 8, Chris Candido. Well respected for his technical work rate, Candido had notable careers in both ECW and Smoky Mountain Wrestling. His short WWE career even had a few notable moments, namely providing Barry Horowitz with that infamous upset victory and winning the tag team titles as one half of the OTT fitness pricks, the Body Donners. In 2005, Candido died from complications encountered during surgery, and despite TNA honouring him with a memorial tournament, WWE made only one mention of the man during a gone but not forgotten memorial video for ECW stars during the One Night Stand event that year, a video that WWE management probably wanted no part of, but were forced to make by Paul Heyman. Number 7, Lance Cade. Over the course of his 7 years with WWE, Cade never really realised his potential. For 3 years, he tagged with Trevor Murdoch in the truckiest tag team ever, winning the World Tag Team Championships 3 times. In 2008, he began a slow climb towards main event status, aligning himself with Y2J and feuding with Shawn Michaels, his former mentor, even earning a pinfall victory over HBK on Raw. However, after an abuse of prescription pills caused him to have a seizure on a WWE plane flight, he was released from his contract. Despite attending rehab in 2010, Cade died later that year to heart failure brought on by a mixture of drugs in his system. Number 6, Doink the Clown, and here we are, talking about a dead clown. Sorry everyone. Originally portrayed by Matt Osborne, Doink was one of the faces of WWE's cartoon period in the early to mid-90s. He was a clown who wrestled. That's just what happens sometimes. He appeared in the gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17 and in an episode of Raw in 2007, but when Osborne died from heart failure in 2013, the company was silent. Was this because at least 5 other men had played Doink since Osborne left the company and they wanted to keep the terrifying clown factory open? Perhaps because his death was initially and wrongly attributed to substance abuse. Eventually, a few lines were written on WWE's website, but hardly a fitting tribute for the iconic character. Number 5, Viscera. Big Daddy V, the world's largest love machine, passed away in 2014. He had a long and varied career with the company, including winning the King of the Ring tournament as Mabel and challenging for the WWF title at SummerSlam that same year. After leaving and returning to the company a number of times, Viscera was released for the final time in 2008. In February 2014, Viscera passed away from a heart attack, but received no mention on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view less than a week later, or Raw the following night. It's not clear exactly why. The man had wrestled in 3 separate eras of the company, and despite being saddled with the large man addicted to sex gimmick that hindered Mark Henry and the Great Khali, was surely present in enough fans' minds for a tribute. Number 4, Nancy Benoit. Most people will unfortunately only know Nancy Benoit for being the woman killed by Chris Benoit during his fit of madness in 2007. In actual fact, Nancy had a 13-year career as a manager, commonly known as Woman, in ECW, where she managed Sandman. She would do things like light his cigarettes and become aroused watching him cane Mikey Whipwreck, as you do. She then moved to WCW to join her real-life husband Kevin Sullivan, but after having a kayfabe affair with Chris Benoit, who was feuding with Sullivan, art imitated life, A romance between Nancy and Chris blossomed for real. She retired and the two married. After it came to light that Chris Benoit had killed his family, the WWE made the decision to never again mention the incident or Benoit himself. As such, Nancy's career and her untimely death will forever go unacknowledged by WWE. Number 3, Test. Test had quite the career in WWE. His on-screen relationship with Stephanie McMahon made him a prominent player early on, and having a high-profile feud with Shane O'Mac. However, after Stephanie was drugged and stolen by Triple H, wrestling is fun, Test became a tag team wrestler, working as part of TNA with Albert and Trish Stratus, with Scott Steiner, where they spent their tag career abusing Stacy Keibler, and as part of the Un-Americans with Lance Storm and Christian, his association with that stable getting a one-on-one match with The Undertaker at SummerSlam 2002. He won the European title, Intercontinental title, Hardcore title, tag titles, and regularly competed for the ECW World title. He died at the young age of 33 from an overdose of painkillers. He wasn't afforded any tribute, likely because of his problems with steroids and pills. Number 2, Umaga. Umaga, racist gimmick though it most definitely was, got Eddie Fatu over in a big way. He was already a member of the Anoa'i family, I hope I pronounced that right, that gave us The Rock, Yokozuna, Roman Reigns and Rikishi. He won the IC title twice and represented Mr. McMahon in the Battle of the Billionaires at WrestleMania 23. He was eventually released from the company in 2009 after violating the wellness policy for the second time and refusing to go to rehab. Later that same year, he suffered heart failure as a result of a toxic cocktail of substances in his system. For falling out of repute with the company for drug infractions and dying of drug abuse, he received no tribute, much to the outrage of fans. Number 1, WWF President Jack Tunney. Before the Montreal Screwjob outed Vince McMahon as owner-operator of WWF, and for over a decade, the WWF was kayfabe run by President Jack Tunney, who in real life was a Canadian promoter who allied himself with Vince McMahon. From 1984 to 1995, he was the man in charge. He wasn't often seen, but anytime a massive announcement had to be made, like the WWF Championship being vacated before the Royal Rumble 1992, or the creation of the WrestleMania 4 Championship Tournament, it came from the office of Jack Tunney. The fictional president was removed from TV in 1995 after the business partnership between Tunney and McMahon ended, and when he died in 2004 of a heart attack, not one person from WWE attended his funeral, and his death went unreported on WWE.com. Heartbreaking. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you can even follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.